Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Sun Sports.
The Rays broke out the big bats last night, powering their way to a second straight victory over Oakland. Today, rookie right-hander Nathan Carnes goes to the hill, looking to extend the win streak. The Rays and the A's on Sun Sports next. This afternoon at Tropicana Field, the Rays open the Memorial Day weekend with their largest lead in the American League East since early May of 2012. They're a game and a half up. And today they meet the Oakland Athletics in Game 3 of this four-game series. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Rays Baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you looking in. Rays winners again last night. It's been a great combination of solid pitching, solid defense, and lately good hitting. And David DeJesus, one of the bats who is leading that charge.
Indispensable. I mean, over the last 3 weeks for David DeJesus, he has been absolutely on point for the Rays lineup. You look what he's done his last 16 games. 400 average, 7 extra base hits, 10 runs batted in. The 7 extra base hits include 3 home runs. He's hit safely in 13 of the 16 games, including, how about this, 7 multi-hit games. What's been impressive is the plate coverage. You want to pitch him away, he will take you into left field, sometimes with gas power. You want to pitch him in, he'll fire those hands and hit you with deep power out to right center. Very impressive.
You can see David DeJesus leading the team all across the board. He's hitting .317, 4 homers and 18 runs batted in for the veteran left-handed hitter, splitting time between the outfield and the DH. Last night, the Rays hit 3 home runs, including a long one off the bat of Tim Beckham. After the game, Beckham sent to the minor leagues. One of those very difficult decisions to make. The Rays needed to bolster their pitching. We'll be back with more on that from Todd Callis.
skipper had one of the more difficult discussions he's had to make last night of all the guys that he had to tell didn't make the team coming out of spring training or have been sent down subsequently. Last night was probably the most difficult conversation for Cash because Tim Beckham, due to the Rays needing some coverage in the bullpen, was the odd man out, and he would leave with a bang. 453-foot home run in his last AB for the Rays, at the time giving Tampa Bay a 5-1 lead, and the Rays would go on to win 5-2. But because the Rays need coverage in the bullpen, Eddie Romero recalled from Durham. Beckham tied for second on the team with 5 home runs, fifth on the team with 16 RBIs in less than 100 at-bats. Here's Cash on the decision.
It was difficult. There's no doubt about it. I think they're all tough. This one, was deserving to kind of shake everybody up because of what Beck has provided, the type of player he's been, and probably most importantly, the type of teammate he's been. Everybody loves him. We're hopeful that he'll be back soon, but I think we had to make the move simply because we got to do what's best for the team, and innings are what's important right now. We've got our bullpens a little gassed. They've been worked very hard, and it made the most sense.
So when the Rays go back to a 4-man bench at some point, you would expect to see Tim Beckham back in a Tampa Bay uniform. Until then, we wish him the best with the Durham Bulls. We're 3.5 minutes away from the first pitch. It's the A's, Kendall Graveman, against the Rays, Nathan Carnes. Couple of righties enjoy all the action with Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson next.
Nathan Carnes heads to the hill for Game 3 of the series. The Rays winners in 4 of their last 5. They've won 7 of 10. And overall, a game and a half up on the New York Yankees in the American League East. This afternoon, it will be the Oakland A's providing the opposition. Lineups presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Billy Burns again will lead it off for Oakland, followed by Marcus Semien. Josh Reddick hits third, followed by the DH Billy Butler. Max Muncy across the diamond today at third. Josh Fegley will do the catching. Eric Sogard hits seventh. He's at second base. Mark Canha is the first baseman batting eighth. Sam Bowl the ninth-placed hitter in left field.
Now taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays, Nathan Carnes making his 9th start of the season, a 3-1 record. He won his last time out. That was against the New York Yankees. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. Now, the only thing is that was 10 days ago. Skipped in the rotation, give him a little bit extra rest, so he's working on 10 days.
And the first pitch of this game presented by Pinch-A-Penny. Fouled right back by Billy Burns. 1 strike to count. Well, we'll see how that affects the 27-year-old right-hander, Nathan Carnes. You're never quite sure. 0-2, kind of a double-edged sword, BA, for a pitcher. Not bad to get a little extra rest, but sometimes there's a little rust that comes with that.
That's exactly right. I mean, he's been on his 5-day rotation in good rhythm, so he absolutely will be stronger. Now, will the command and precision be there? Because that's something that we've noticed about Nathan Carnes is overall his command has been very good this year. He's had his moments where it's wavered, but for the most part, he's been on point.
4 straight pitches in the zone. Couple of foul balls, and it's an 0-2 count here on Burns. So far, so good.
Now, with 2 strikes, all Burns is looking to do is just slap the ball in play. He's got good speed.
To the shortstop side, and a tough play to get the speedy Burns. He just put it in play and let that speed take care of the rest.
Sometimes hitters like Burns are more dangerous with 2 strikes because you could see it. He's choked up on the bat. He's going to shorten the swing, just try to put the ball in play and let his feet do the work, which is exactly what he did.
So Oakland puts the leadoff man on base with speed over there. He's 5 of 7. Here's Marcus Semien. And a move to first. He's back in there. The Rangers have beaten Texas 5-4. So the Rays now have a 2-game lead over New York. Texas over the Yankees. Did I say Rangers? Yeah, that would be difficult. The Texas Rangers beating the Yankees 15-4.
Thought it was an inter-squad game. No big deal.
So a 2-game lead now. How about all that?
Well, how about the fact that that game was out of hand early? I mean, we went down to the downstairs. You know, the game was on the TV. It was the 3rd inning. It was 10-0 Texas.
Yep, 10 runs in the 3rd.
Well, there you go.
There's a strike.
Boy, and that was CC Sabathia on the mound for the Yankees. The struggles continue. The team is struggling mightily.
Now, Garrett Jones pitched in the 9th inning for the Yankees in that game. 15-4 Texas over the Yankees in New York. Rays started 24-19. Oakland 14-30. Fly ball not too deep to center, and Kiermaier waits for it. 1 away.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up this afternoon. Brought to you by BMW. In the outfield left to right, we have DeJesus, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st, Forsythe, Cabrera, Franklin, and Loney, with Rene Rivera behind the plate. Who's that?
Relatively clean shaven.
He took the trimmers, put them to work overnight.
Franklin a little lighter out there on his feet at second base now.
He's starting to warm up here in the Bay Area. And so you take the full thick beard and you got to make some adjustments.
Josh Reddick carries a 302 average to the plate here. First time up, there goes Burns, and the throw down. Oh, it skips by Cabrera backed up by Franklin. And Burns has his 6th stolen base of the year.
Well, take a look right here. Burns, that's where that left foot gets out near the cut. That's a huge lead. Already telling you that he's going to be aggressive, and he got a good jump. Rivera, all he could do, and I'll tell you something, that was a perfect throw by Rene Rivera. Tough for Asdrubal Cabrera. That glove's down and away from himself. Probably a little run on the throw from Rivera, but boy, he made a play that looked like it wasn't going to be that close, closer than it looked.
Foul back, 1-1. That's the 5th steal with Carnes on the hill. The opposition 5 of 5 in that department, with Nathan Carnes on the mound. There's a strike. Fastball, well placed.
Well, and you figure too that the guys that can run on this Oakland A's team are going to try to push Nathan Carnes a little bit. This is an offense that has been struggling mightily over the last couple of weeks and have lost the first 2 games of this series. Going to try to probably make something happen here this afternoon.
Bounder down to third. It's Forsythe with the runner holding at second. And Logan Forsythe takes care of Reddick.
A nice work there by Logan Forsythe on an in-between hop. And Billy Burns at second base. There's nowhere for him to go.
Well, Billy Butler, the designated hitter. The Rays remember him from his days in Kansas City. And he could be tough against Rays pitching, as those numbers indicate. Over 14 games, hitting .375 against Rays pitching. He was 0 for 4 here in game 1, and last night had a couple hits, including a run batted in. He was 2 for 4 last night.
Both hits right back up the middle. And that's why Butler can be dangerous, because he's not afraid to use up the middle the other way.
Butler with 22 runs batted in. And he's ahead of Carnes, 2-0.
Good distribution.
Well, as guys with power go, he does hit the ball all over the place. And normally speaking, his power could be to the alleys. He's ahead in the count now, 3-0.
And he creates his power by, smooth stroke and getting backspin on the baseball. He doesn't have that uppercut swing that you see, a lot of power guys, a lot of designated hitters have. You think about a guy like Chris Davis and the way that they turn it loose with the uppercut swing, looking to create loft.
There's a strike. 3-1.
He's more that gap-to-gap line drive power that he'll catch some clean and get that good backspin that'll carry into the stands.
Now the count is full. Fouling a fastball back.
He tried to launch that one, and he got a pretty good pitch out over the plate to do it. Get some of these guys in a 3-1 count. Look at this. Boy, he's turning it loose.
(3-2). Fly ball down the left side. That's going to be a foul ball and out of the reach of Forsythe. Logan giving it a try from third, but no chance. Now Rivera and Carnes have a quick little get together before they try another 3-2 pitch to Butler.
And that's a smart thing to do. You wonder if Rivera will go back there and put signs down. A runner out at second. He's been out there for a couple at-bats now. So you may just go up and say, hey, let's go with this pitch right here, and then you don't have to worry about signs.
Three-two popped up right side. Souza coming in toward the line, and he's got it to retire the side. Hayes leave a man at second. Rays coming in to hit. To hit. Nathan Carnes leaving a man on. Starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kevin Kiermaier to lead it off, followed by Steven Souza Jr. and that will be Evan Longoria, the DH. Loney, Forsythe, DeJesus down the middle. Cabrera, Franklin, and Rivera rounding out the lineup. First pitch from the right-hander, Kendall Graveman, is wide to Kiermaier. Fastball, ball one.
You saw the numbers on Kendall Graveman. He's broke camp with the team, had the first 4 starts of the year. Numbers not that good. They sent him to AAA Nashville, had 4 starts down there, threw the ball much better, 2-1, 1.85, and now recalled, obviously, for this start.
Had a great spring. He didn't give up much at all and made the staff. And then when the season started, it turned out to be a completely different situation for him. Chop right side, backhanded, and the toss, a little short toss to Graveman, one away.
Let's take a quick look at the Oakland Athletic defense as it lines up. Brought to you by BMW. In the outfield, left to right, we have Sam Bull, Billy Burns, and Josh Reddick. Across the infield, third to first, Max Muncy, Marcus Semien, Eric Sogard, and Mark Canha, and Josh Fagley will be behind the plate. You'll find a lot of young pitchers find out very quickly that spring training is nothing like the regular season when it starts to count, even though that last start may have been just a few days previous.
Souza swings and he misses. Yeah, it's a rude awakening sometimes. And sometimes a trip down to the minor leagues and then you come back and you sort of acclimate yourself. That's what the A's are hoping is the case with Graveman.
Well, you get caught up. We talked about Nathan Carnes getting on a 5-day rotation. Sometimes that 5-day rotation can go too fast. And so you get those 4 starts and it feels like you're just stumbling all over yourself. And so you need that time to just kind of calm down, get back in good rhythm, get good coaching, good counsel. And he turned it around down in Nashville and gets another shot now.
Count goes to 2-2.
And if you couldn't tell already, Kendall Graveman, sinker, changeup, he'll cut it, slider, but he wants to keep the ball on the ground.
And there is strike 3 call. Souza caught looking.
And that's the cutter. Here's the thing. He's got a great sinker, so you're always looking for that. But this cutter, subtle right here. But at 88, you could see Souza Jr. is seeing that ball in. He starts to lock the knees, and it's just a subtle cut. It stays out over the heart of the plate. And that's the pitch that Kendall Graveman said, the cutter last year. This was a guy in the Toronto organization last year that started in A-ball and got to the big leagues by the end of the year. Another quick riser.
Evan Longoria takes a pitch for a ball.
He said the biggest reason for that ascent was the cutter.
And that's a pitch that he found almost by mistake. They were throwing 2-seamers and 4-seamers, and he saw that the 4-seamer, for some reason, had a little cut to it. Thought that was a good idea. And so he continued to pursue that. Well, that change has gotten him a look in the big leagues.
It's the perfect foil to the sinker. You know, you talk about sinker slider guys. Okay, one ball moving one way, the other moves the other. Well, how about sinker cutter and then slider? So you get the bigger slider, the bigger sinker, the subtle cutter in the middle. Not a bad combination.
And to third, it's Muncy making the long throw. The Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We're on to the second. No score from the Trop. To you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Morgan Auto Group. Make it Morgan. We make it happen. At the Trop, third game of the 4-game series. Hey, the Carnes on the hill for the Rays today. Max Muncy is going to lead off. He's playing third base. Brett Lawrie getting the day off. And the pitch to Muncy is a strike.
Let me ask you something. Is there anything better than the first sip of coffee of the day? Like, I just took mine.
Yeah.
Out of the mug.
Now you're settled in and the day seems complete.
You have no idea how excited I am for the next 8 innings. Powered through the first, that's fine. Now I'm ready.
High popper on the infield off the bat of Muncy. No coincidence that you would mention that Just as we mentioned that Brett Lawrie had the day off.
Yeah, the timing was perfect.
Wasn't it? Well, the cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. See where Carnes stacks up in lowest opponent batting average. Second in the American League right there.
Well, it speaks to obviously the stuff. And it's a pretty simple mix. I mean, Nathan Carnes is fastball, curveball, sprinkle in the changeup. But it's a power curve. He throws it as hard as some guys throw their slider. Gets good depth with it and works downhill.
Catcher Fegley sends a fly ball into right center. Souza is there, so 2 outs here in the second inning.
And that's why, you know, command is everything with Carnes, which is why you'll see him, if he misses a couple of pitches and doesn't autocorrect, then all of a sudden you'll see Rene Rivera, Bobby Wilson, you know, go out there, talk to him to get him back straight. Because when he's straight and linear to home plate, we've seen it. That number speaks for itself. We're deep into May.
First pitch, a strike to Eric Sogard. Fastball. You know, we talk about that great curveball that he has, but he seems so much more comfortable and relaxed with his fastball. It's not a pitch now that I think he's had this run of success that he feels he has to really hump up and overthrow it. He seems relaxed with the delivery of the fastball,
which will help with the command. You know, not trying to throw this thing with your body, but just relying on your mechanics. You know, we talk about with hitters. You think about some of the more balanced hitters, where they trust their hands. They don't feel like they have to go get pitches. They can just trust in their setup and let the hands go. It's the same thing with pitching. I mean, you trust your mechanics. You trust your hand out in front. You're confident with what you're doing. You don't have to go and try and get pitches.
A liner into right, a base hit. Souza returns that to the infield. 0-2 fastball, and Sogard has a base hit.
The fastball into a lefty, you want that pitch by the hands, up near the hands. Down and in, you know, we talk about it quite often, and you tend to get hurt down in that area. So you come in on the left-handed hitter, the aiming point typically is hands high. You're not going to be able to do anything with that pitch.
Mark Canha, the first baseman. He takes a breaking ball out of the zone.
Put a little addition on the choppers.
Wanted to strike, and it's 1-1. Yeah, he's still watering that bottom part.
Yeah, I mean, you could see where, you know, not going to stay still so he can't draw, but you could see where it ended, and then he just decided to put an addition on, and I think it looks good when it's finished.
A little time, it'll look as if it were all part of an original plan.
Yeah, it'll be very Elvis Presley-like.
One and two, the count on him. Oakland with a man at first. They left a runner at second in the first. Did he go? He did not. That's Joe West, the crew chief over there, where he's hoping to get the call on that curveball. Let's take a look.
Good call. That little flick at the end is what threw you. But
Joe West on it again.
All series long, he has announced his presence with authority.
Over to first. Back in. Nathan Carnes skipped through the rotation. His last outing against the Yankees on the 13th. He's had 4 outings in which he's thrown over 100 pitches, and 2 outings ago against Texas Made 117 pitches. Look out. Foul ball off the mask of Rivera with Sogard on the move.
And that's what's different. You know, a foul ball straight back off the mask, but Rivera's coming out of his stance when he gets hit.
Yeah, that's just not pleasant.
Almost stood up right into it. And 3 seconds later, he's ready to go. We got to be tough.
That's the amazing thing about catchers. And I think everybody across the board in athletics in general more aware of concussions. But it's really amazing that you don't see more than we do already. Runner goes, and a base hit to center. Sogard's going to go to third. Canha with a 2-out base hit.
And a nice 2-out or 2-strike approach by Canha. You know, he's looking to protect and extend an at-bat. Carnes comes with the curveball. Boy, foot down, and he keeps the head down right on top of that baseball and goes right back up the middle.
Yeah, that's not as if that were not a good pitch.
Right.
It's a pretty good pitch there. First and third, 2 gone, and Sam Fold becomes the hitter. Sam had a base hit last night in 4 at-bats. Shortens on the bat and takes the pitch for ball 1.
That's going to force Logan Forsythe there. I shouldn't even say force. That's where he's going to play Sam Fold, even with the bag, because you never know. May try to lay one down here and sneak a run. Try to beat out a hit.
Full swing and a foul ball back.
You know, some of these guys that have that Sam Fold, Billy Burns type of style at the plate, you see them turn, square like they're going to bunt to pull that third baseman in and then try to slap one right by him.
Pitch upstairs. Now it's 2-1. Well, Oakland with a couple base runners here in the second inning. They left a man on base in the first. Ground ball off the glove of Carnes, but he recovers and makes the toss. Oakland strands 2 here in the second. James Loney due to lead it off. He's carrying a 9-game hitting streak. Back in a moment. Headed into the bottom of the second inning. No score, and it's James Loney going after the first pitch. Popping it back a third foul. That's going to carry well out of play. Loney with a 9-game hitting streak now. Forsythe and DeJesus will follow. Loney singled his first time up in last night's game to extend the hitting streak. One and one.
Right now, this entire Rays bench just taking a good long look at Kendall Graveman, what he likes to feature, watching video, seeing how the pitches move.
And Hall's going to take it unassisted at first base for the out. For a suggested donation of $20, Rays fans can shave their heads courtesy of Sport Clips during tomorrow's Rays-A's game here at Tropicana Field in support of Pediatric Cancer Foundation's Cut for a Cure charity challenge. You can also donate $10 by texting PCF to 20222. For more information or to donate, go to cutforacure.org. Logan Forsythe takes the pitch inside. 1-0.
You know, a lot of times a new pitcher like this, first time through the lineup, you know, you're hoping for some mistakes out over the plate that you can take advantage of, but it's information gathering. What does he like to do? These guys have not seen, for the most part, I'm sure, unless, well, spring training, not even in the same state, so that doesn't help. But they haven't seen the release point, the movement on his pitches. And so you're just comparing notes.
1-2.
You know, hoping for that mistake, and if not, be real interesting to see what adjustments are made second time through the lineup.
Long throw from Muncy and a scoop over at first by Canha. Forsythe is the second out.
Boy, that was a nice play by Canha. A tough throw by Muncy. This chopper by Forsythe, you got to make a decision, charge or back up. Muncy says, I'd rather get the higher hop, but it makes for a more difficult throw. And the first baseman to bail him out.
We had Muncy playing first base earlier in this series, and that's a transition for him. He's played third in the minor leagues and made a nice play there as well.
When you back up like that on a chopper, you just can't get the crow hop involved. So it's all arm across the diamond. And he can appreciate it as much as anybody, the scoop on the other end.
Yep, because he was over there last night. Strike the count to David DeJesus. Yeah, it's absolutely right, and interesting to watch a guy who a club has not seen before, and especially with the kind of movement that he had. They'll get reports and see some video. You did a little scouting report on video yourself of this guy, and the movement that you saw in that video was amazing.
You saw it too.
Yeah. I mean,
doing our homework, and you're like, my goodness, this guy ball moves all over the place. Trying to front door that sinker there. Well, he's over on the first base side of the rubber.
Oh, high base hit into left center for DeJesus. Boy, has he been a hitting clinic or what? To watch DeJesus during this hot streak, here's a nice job.
You know, and not a terrible pitch. He's trying to backdoor cut. Really didn't have it set up properly. David DeJesus not fooled at all. And you're right, that's what's been most impressive. His plate coverage. Stay away. He goes the other way with authority, but then all of a sudden you want to pop one in on him. He's shown the ability to fire the hands close to the body through the zone and hit with power to right center.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Pitch down. Well, you showed me the video on this guy when you were looking at it, and there's no wonder. We talked about he came up with basically his cutter by mistake, trying to throw a four-seamer, And his catcher last year in the minor leagues couldn't catch it. And his catcher said, well, throw that again. Throw that same pitch again.
Which one? Well, yeah, and sometimes that's how it happens. Sometimes that's how it happens. But, you know, like we were talking earlier, you get sinker and then that little cutter that really doesn't have to do much, because the hitter, when it's got fastball arm motion, fastball speed, is going to expect the ball to be boring in on him if he's a righty, away from him as a lefty. And so the cutter doesn't even have to be that big of a cutter, just a subtle little cutter and a slider.
And he's such an interesting story. He pitched at Mississippi State, was not a big prospect. In fact, the Blue Jays signed him for $5,000.
You knew that when you looked at his innings pitched in the minor leagues last year. And we were talking about that before the game. I said he must not have been too high on the prospect list, because he threw almost 170 innings. First full year of professional baseball. You don't see that anymore.
No, not the way arms are pampered now.
And you said, well, his signing bonus was only $5,000. Well, then it makes perfect sense.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Cabrera. Rays leave a man at first, and we go to the third. No score.
Little morning contest, guys, in extended spring training down at the Charlotte Sports Complex in Port Charlotte, Florida. And here's what happened. He went 2 innings, threw 36 pitches, pounded the strike zone, 25 strikes. Did give up 5 hits and 2 runs. He said that's not exactly what he wanted, but he said results aren't what he's worried about right now. He is more worried about getting the work in. And now the next step, guys, in 5 days will either be a 3-inning extended spring game or the start of his minor league rehab. So we still look at late June, early July as a very realistic target, 13 months away after his Tommy John surgery, guys.
Yeah, well, that's good news, and I think he's right. The second pitch popped up foul. And right there is the third baseman Forsythe, the retired Billy Burns. Well, the Rays happy to see steady progress being made by Matt Moore. And think of that. Here a couple of things. Number one, you can't expect him to step right in and revert to that great form that he had before. Might take him a little while to do that. So let's not get carried away and increase expectations beyond reality. But you do think at some point in the not too distant future, the Rays stand a chance to get a very big boost from a very talented left-handed pitcher there.
Well, think about the offseason. You know, you go a few months without throwing, and then all of a sudden you ramp it up and you go to spring training and you start fresh facing hitters. Matt Moore, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, you know, playing catch, the slow process. And so as long as the ball's coming out of his hand free and easy, and there are no setbacks, no issues, results will come in time. And you're right, there is a chance that it's not too far off as he gets ramped up, starts to game plan, starts to get comfortable with all of his pitches. You know, that could be like a deadline acquisition here in the next month and a half.
Yep, that's a trade that you don't have to make.
Right.
You got a guy coming.
Right, a top end of the rotation guy.
Semien fouls away a pitch. It's 2-2. Boy, what a lift that would be. It's interesting because this pitching staff, they've had to mix and match with the rotation, limit innings. The bullpen has been spectacular, and they've had a lot of work. In fact, that's one of the reasons the Rays had to make a difficult decision to send Tim Beckham out and get another arm in here. And that's, you know, as a manager, you hate to have to make that decision and deliver that news at any time. And Kevin Cash said it was particularly difficult this time around. I mean, here's Beckham. He just hit a ball over 450 feet, a home run. He's done everything they've asked him to do. And he finds himself on the way to Durham. But, and difficult to do that. But with the knowledge that he has major league value and will be back, still not all that easy to go. Nice pickup, close play, safe at first. Semien can run, and he beats this play to first.
Well, and Kevin Cash is going to want to take a look, and he should. Nice try by Cabrera trying to get him, but he's swinging and running at the same time. And Cabrera scoops, throws, and it looked like Semien may have gotten there in time. Take a look, ball into the glove. Yep, he's going to be safe, so I doubt the Rays will do anything about this.
Base hit for Semien. And I'll tell you, Cabrera did everything he could do. He really gloved and unloaded that ball as quickly as humanly possible right there. And Semien has an infield hit.
You know, going back to the Beckham thing, that decision, it stinks. It stinks, but you understand why they had to do something. You mentioned the bullpen workload. It's most innings in Major League Baseball so far. And then you've got a starter today in Nathan Carnes and a starter tomorrow in Erasmo Ramirez that have not gotten the length. You know, those are the guys that tend to be, you know, the 5-6 innings type of starters. So you're going to be leaning heavily on your bullpen again, you would think, in theory, today and tomorrow. So you've got to protect against that because you've got a unit out there that's been beat up pretty good.
Well, what this tells you is that the division has a chance to be so close that every game counts, and you want to make sure you're prepared, even if you're going to sacrifice and do something you don't want to do in sending Beckham out.
Yeah.
No one wants to do that, but they've got to make sure the pitching is covered. So you try to win every game you can anyway. And you see right now the Rays up by 2. The Yankees being beaten by Texas again today. Well, but from a human point of view, it's tough to take if you're Tim Beckham.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You know that he's going to be the good soldier, and that he's going to go down and bide his time until he comes back, and he obviously will be back at some point. But it does. It absolutely stings. But that is, unfortunately, you know, sometimes that's part of the game. You know, I remember pitching with the Indians back in '96, '97, and if you didn't come up and throw a no-hitter, you know you were going back. I mean, that's just the way it was. And there was a shuttle of guys back and forth. Albie Lopez.
Yeah, well, that's the other side of it too.
Yeah,
because you're in the middle of all that.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what it's like, how badly you want to get to the big leagues, and once you're there, how badly you want to stay, and to go back and forth. It's tough.
It is. And you get on the Durham St. Pete shuttle, or you get on at that time it was the Cleveland Buffalo shuttle, and that's just the way it is. And so you accept it and you do your job. The worst thing you do is you go back down, hang your head, and you find yourself in a hole.
Runner goes, they're going to get out at second base. Semien caught stealing for the first time this year.
Now the speed to beat out the infield hit, but he could not run out Rene Rivera, and his gun got a good pitch to handle, and boy, does he lay it on the money. Boy, Cabrera, catch and tag. Beautiful.
You know, he's actually made a couple pretty good throws. This one even better than the first one, and caught stealing the result. Chopper to first. Carnes covers. Oakland out in the third. Rays will have Franklin, Rivera, and Kiermaier due up, no score. Is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Courtesy Toyota. You'll love what we do for you. Cut and the miss by Nick Franklin. Franklin falling off that fastball and swinging and missing. Strike one.
A little bit of a bail and wail.
Takes this one down. 1-1.
Which, by the way, is not the approach that you want against a sinker baller like this. That ball moving away from you so violently, you got to stay in there.
Fly ball back into deep center field. Burns just to the track, and he makes the catch. That's the first out.
The catcher, number 44, Rene Rivera.
That will be Rene Rivera. Chopper over the mound, up the middle, and Sogard is there to make the throw. So 2 outs. Tomorrow's Family Fun Day at the Trop. The Rays take on the A's again. And after the game, singer-songwriter Cody Simpson performs his top hits. All fans will have access to go onto the field for the concert at no extra cost. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Kiermaier shortening on that bat and taking the pitch for a strike. Well, the Rays getting their second look here, second time through the order, and this one bounced up the middle, and Simeon is there to make the throw. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. They have 1 hit, no runs through 3, no score. Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Billy Butler to begin the 4th inning. The Oakland DH in the first pitch. Curveball, and he takes it for a strike. Oakland with a couple runners in the 2nd inning, a runner in the 1st. And another breaking ball, this time taken for ball 1. It's 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Oakland today 0 for 3 with men in scoring position. They were 0 of 11 last night. Thursday night 2 out of 8, but neither hit drove in a run. It continues to be a frustrating period of the season here for the Oakland A's. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. Bob Melvin, who has been so good and respected really wherever he has been as a manager, Seattle, Arizona, Oakland, has done a great job with Oakland. But what a stretch they have hit. Soft liner, and that's going to be in there for a base hit. Franklin will make the throw, and they just about got him. How about that? Franklin going out there and turning from short right field, managed to make an accurate throw to Loney and made it very close at first. Butler just did get in there.
Well, you just never give up on a play, and that's what Franklin did. Sold out into shallow right. Loney getting back to the bag, and it was a lot closer than it should have been.
Butler picking up hit number 5 for Oakland, and boy, he really had to dig for that base hit.
That's the big fear. That was the biggest fear when you moved up and started playing at the big field. The base hit to right field where they throw you out at first.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
No, you might as well just head out. Head out.
Just overrun the bag, make a right turn, and keep on going.
That's it. Figure out what other sport goes on during the summer and think about maybe signing up for that.
Max Muncy.
Is there another sport that goes on during the summer? Besides the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
There's not too many other summer sports, are there?
That's just an extension of winter and spring.
I love the NBA playoffs. It's like the regular season goes on for a while, and then the playoffs are 3 months.
Yeah.
Just tack it on.
2 balls and a strike to count.
Hockey's not far behind.
No. You know, that brings up a whole other topic we'll have to get in sometime about baseball and whether the regular season schedule should be reduced from 162 to 154 because of the added layers of postseason play. You're adding another month really to the season, and the effect that has on the health primarily of pitchers and arm injuries and all of those factors. Would it be better to play 154 games? Because when expansion first started, you had the regular season, you went right to the World Series. Now there are multiple layers to get there. 3-2 now, the count on Muncy.
And Nathan Carnes, boy, I tell you what, he thought he had him. He did the spin waiting for the call, and it didn't come. Get right back up on that rubber now and have to make a pitch here in a full count.
He's been working out of that stretch a lot today with these Oakland runners. Muncy fouls a 3-2 pitch.
Well, the only thing that I will say to that is that you're going to have to make it work monetarily for the owners. They're not going to give up 4.
You mean money's at the root of all this?
Oh,
that's why we do all this?
8 games. That's 4 home games. That's a big gate for a lot of teams.
That's a strike call. Muncy trying to coax the walk, and Rob Drake's not having it. Carnes picks up a strikeout, his first, and the first out in the 4th.
That pitch is right there. I'll tell you, track it right down. A little bit of late movement at the end, way too close to take. Yeah, I think that if all things being equal, if the money was equal, they'd make that change tomorrow. But in fact, I saw somewhere that they have organized some sort of committee to look into the financial ramifications for all parties.
Yeah.
To make that change.
Well, you need to do that. I mean, you do that at home with your own budget. You really need to do that everywhere. And it's really not done, and we don't want to get too involved in this, base hit to left. But, you know, the financial side of everything you want to factor in at some point.
Well, the U.S. government doesn't do the
there you
greatest
go.
job at it.
We didn't want to get into everything.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
Sometimes you run a little bit of a deficit.
I got you. Just a little bit.
Infrastructure.
2 men on with 1 out.
Have a lot of committees and a lot of meetings.
Yeah, and subcommittees too. Need a lot of subcommittees
to report to the committee.
Yeah.
Who then finalizes?
Yeah, they issue a report and put it on a shelf and turn the page. And this is Saturday. Tomorrow will be Sunday, and Monday we'll forget about it.
That's what we do.
Eric Sogard, 1-0. You know, we very easily could become those 2 guys who sat in the balcony, you know.
Could become. You talk as if it's still out there to be achieved. I'd put it in my rearview mirror, baby.
Yeah, I got you.
We have become. All in good fun, though.
It's the best thing to have. Fun.
If you can't come to the ballpark and enjoy a ball game with some levity, well,
don't you do that when you sit in the seat at a ballpark?
Yeah, or on the bench in the dugout?
All the time. 2-0 pitch popped into short right. Franklin's out there for it. He'll make the catch. So that's the 2nd out of the inning.
But definitely, getting back all seriousness, the drumbeat has grown louder for that. And that was something I didn't think would ever be on the table or even talked about anymore.
And I really think health of arms, shoulders and elbows and all of those things that go into pitching will have something, at least something to get that conversation started. I don't know if that'll carry the day. You know, the financial side often carries the day. But it's different. There's a lot more demand put on arms now because of the extended postseason. Canha lines it into right. Souza's there to make the catch. Not exactly routine on the receiving end, but he held on. 2 men left. We're going to head into the bottom of the 4th, and down goes Souza.
Heading to the bottom of the 4th, scoreless. Rays and A's. Steven Souza Jr. leading off the inning for the Rays. He's one of the new faces here this year for the Tampa Bay Rays. As a matter of fact, New Additions is the theme of the newest Inside the Rays. That's going to be premiering tonight after the game and after Rays Live, the postgame show. Steven Souza Jr. will be featured, as will Rene Rivera, our starting catcher. And, you know, there's a look from Emily Austin inside the lives of some of these key players who are getting used to life in Tampa Bay, not only with the team, but the community as well. And stay tuned, because Emily Austin is actually getting a double secret look at a real live bullpen session from Kevin Jepsen. That's one of the highlights coming up on Inside the Rays New Additions. That premieres tonight on Sun Sports following Rays Live, the postgame. And BA, it is not New Edition, your favorite band growing up. It's new additions to the Rays.
Whoa, 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 Rich. Whoa. New Edition. I can't believe you outed me in front of everybody. New Edition. It's the boy band.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that from generation to generation, it never goes away. They're always formulating a new boy band. In Sync, New Edition. Now, what do we got? One Direction.
It's a cycle of life.
It really is.
The seasons, life, boy bands.
Do you have all the albums like I do?
No, I can't say that I do. I might have Willie Nelson's first.
Willie Nelson. Merle Haggard.
Got a couple of those. And all of George Strait's. Oh, strike 3 call. Souza caught looking for the second time.
Well, it's the same pitch, a little bit higher, that cutter. And I think Steven Souza Jr. thinks this pitch is up. He's going to take a walk here. And not to be. Right across the letters.
That's 65 strikeouts for Souza this year. He leads the major leagues in that department, and it really is at a point where the Rays they've always attempted to address anything that a hitter might have as a concern, but they're at a point where it is being addressed. Want to know the count to Longoria?
I think the one thing that stands out is how many are looking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of pitches that catching a lot of plate that there's no offer made. All part of that growing process. This is a different league.
Ball, 2 strikes to Evan Longoria, our T-Mobile game changer. Evan Longoria, you can split the season right now, first 14 and the last 28, and a marked difference.
Well, you see the average jumps right out at you, much more productive, and along with that production comes the driving in of runs, the home runs, the runs batted in. Listen, when this guy is swinging the bat well and driving in runs, this team is winning at a very high rate.
Longoria reaching for that one, pops it up. Sogard, the second baseman, handles it. The 2-out Rays have just 1 hit so far off Graveman. That was the 2-out single by DeJesus in the second.
Well, he has been very impressive. When you saw his numbers coming in, the ERA of 8.27, the fact that 24 hits and 16 in a third innings to go with 9 walks, the command wasn't there, but he has been attacking the zone here this afternoon with all of his pitches.
Ball 1 to Loney. He was part of the big deal that Oakland made with Toronto, the Josh Donaldson deal and Brett Lawrie. That's a strike. It's now 1-1. Lawrie getting the day off. Ground ball. And the toss to Graveman, and it's 1-2-3. 7 in a row retired by the young right-hander. And the Oakland A's. Great moment in Rays history presented by Geico on this day in 2014. Cole Figueroa, just his 8th career plate appearance, delivers a pinch hit double in the bottom of the 9th inning, scoring Desmond Jennings for the only run of that game as the Rays beat Boston 1-0. Sam Fold takes a strike to lead off the 5th. Scoreless in this one. Oakland with 6 hits. The Rays have 1. 0-2. "74 pitches for Nathan Carnes, working to the leadoff man in the 5th inning. Ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Third base side for Forsythe. It'll be the first out in the 5th inning. Bid to win your own Rays game-worn opening day jersey today and tomorrow. The Rays are auctioning off game-worn opening day jerseys. Proceeds benefiting the Rays Baseball Foundation. Visit raysbaseball.com/auction to place your bid. Billy Burns up for the 3rd time. Burns singled his first time, opened the game with an infield hit, stole second base, and was left there. Oakland 0 for 5 with men in scoring position in this game, and a run of 0 for 16 right now over the last two games of this series. 2-0. One. Pretty good matchup here with Graveman and Carnes matching each other, putting up zeros on the board through the first 4 innings. Line drive, and it's grabbed by Forsythe. A shot the other way. One of those reaction spots down at third base, and Forsythe grabbed it.
Made more impressive on where he is playing. He is at the cut. My goodness. Billy Burns trying to slice that ball into left field, and Logan Forsythe quick with the glove. Yes, get some appreciation there from Evan Longoria.
Oh, there's a great shot. Evan reacting. He's the DH today. He knows all about that. Guys going, hey, they got a guy down there who can catch those.
Well, that's what's going on. Exactly right. They're giving it to him.
The Jesus back to the track for this one, and Simeon is the 3rd out. Drove it to the warning track and left center. Bottom of the 5th coming, no score. Scoreless ball game. Through 4.5. The Rays are coming in to hit in the bottom of the 5th. How about this for a Tropicana turnaround? First 7 games for the Rays, averaging a little over 2 runs a game here, going 1-6, and they're 13-5 in their last 8 games here.
Going to circle something here that really jumped out at you, but it'd have to be the whole column. I mean, that's outstanding work. And listen, this should be a place.
Well, there's a base hit, extra bases coming for Forsythe. Gold will have to play the carom, and Logan Forsythe not only showing Longoria how to play third, but apparently opens the inning with a double up the left field line. That's his 12th double of the year.
A sinking back middle, and Forsythe able to wrap that ball, keep it fair by about a foot and a half. Great start here for the Rays in the bottom of the 5th. But getting back to those numbers, this should be a place that this team owns.
Yeah.
And I know that they've been great on the road. They've got that bunker mentality, us against the world, go out and do your thing. But this place, you know, not fun for the opposition to come here.
And DeJesus hit by that pitch. So he'll head to first.
Boy, that caught him flush on the quad.
The shortstop, Asdrubal Cabrera.
You know, probably good that it hit him up as high above the knee as it did.
Yeah, the closer that you can get to the belly of the muscle, way better. Absolutely. Although he's probably begging Kevin Cash right now for a double steal so he can keep moving. I want that thing to stiffen up.
So the first 2 men on here to start the bottom of the 5th. The hitter is Asdrubal Cabrera. So the Rays get their first scoring opportunity in the span of 3 pitches here. They have men at first and second, and Cabrera bunts it foul.
Smart move, too. You wonder that the Rays sometimes in these situations, they don't bunt. But with a guy like Graveman on the mound, who has such a good sinker, that potential for a ground ball double play is right there in your face. So you think about the bunt to move runners up to second and third. It was a smart play initially. Let's see if they stick with it.
Taken low. 1-1. Now Cabrera behind. Nick Franklin on deck.
And now you need Asdrubal Cabrera to find a hole. Graveman going to be working down in the zone. A mistake up that you can get into the outfield or find a hole.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Cabrera's out on strikes.
Well, that's a big time pitch by Graveman. You know, he missed the previous pitch. It was a changeup, missed it down and away. This one, he keeps it on the plate. That's more the changeup that we see a lot from the Rays pitching staff. So confident in that pitch, they throw it out over and let the late action do its business.
That's the first out of the inning. And Nick Franklin, who drove a 1-1 pitch deep to center his first time, steps in against Graveman. Pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Graveman early in the year last year was at Lansing at single A, then at Dunedin, then at double A, New Hampshire, then Buffalo, then Toronto.
But we've seen that with that Toronto franchise. You start to think about some of the other, guys in that organization. That
their bullpen they seemed half their bullpen was an A-ball last year.
Absolutely.
It's a no pitch. Time had been granted by Rob Drake.
That's some
Graveman went
thunder.
ahead and made the pitch.
Not ready for the thunder. Although the reaction wasn't as strong as was it Melky Cabrera last year, where the Lightning, I think the Lightning hit in right field somewhere.
Yeah, he was ready to run and hide and hit the deck all at the same time.
I did.
Fouled back, 1-1. Rays trying to get on the board. First opportunity with Forsythe opening this inning with a double. DeJesus hit by a pitch. That's 1-2. Fly ball into left. Fold makes the catch. So 2 outs. And it'll be up to Rene Rivera. Rivera made a bid for a base hit up the middle in the 3rd, but the A's had him defensed that way. And Sogard at second base was right there to field that hard hit ground ball and throw him out. Pitch is a strike. Graveman retired 12 of the first 13 men he faced in this game. Trying to pitch around the opening double and the hit batter now. And he's 2 outs into that. And a 1-strike count to Rivera. Tell
you what, he's done a great job of bearing down here. He gives up the leadoff double to Forsythe, promptly hits David DeJesus, and you're thinking, okay, young pitcher, is he going to get a little bit wobbly here? But boy, he comes back with a strikeout. Worked Nick Franklin pretty good.
And a foul ball. Well, this is the difference. We talked about it earlier. He had a great spring, and then when the season started, he opened with a really tough outing against Texas. He gave up 8 runs, 7 earned in 3 1/3 innings. And talking to some of the A's people, the game did seem to speed up on him. And he found himself in that situation that you described. Well, back to the minors, he's kind of gotten a speed under himself, and he's pitched well today. It's a foul ball back, and the first time he's been pushed a little bit, he has slowed things down.
He really has. And the one thing that made you wonder is all of a sudden he yanks that heater to DeJesus and drills him. And you're like, okay. But boy, you're right. It just calmed down. He's gotten right back to moving the ball around the zone, letting the movement on his pitches do the work. Get him started in the right spot.
And he strikes out Rivera. Boy, a nice job there. That off-speed pitch with a little break to it. The Rays lead 2. No score. Nathan Carnes has allowed 6 hits, pitched out of a couple spots. Billy Butler on a popper there to leave a man in scoring position. And a nice pitch to end that threat. Kendall Graveman has given the Rays very little, and he finally got in a little bit of trouble in the 5th and settled in and pitched well to get out of that.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out. I know it's the bottom of the order, but still, guys that are capable, and he really tightened up in that last half.
1-0 the count to Josh Reddick. Carnes throws a strike.
Well, this is all about now who's going to blink first, who's going to take advantage of a bad pitch, an opportunity. Oakland has had a couple. The Rays finally have had one, and nothing yet.
Xavier Cedeno's up in the bullpen. Count goes to 2-2 to Reddick. Billy Butler next, and then Max Muncy. Opposite field, that's going to fall for a base hit. Takes the fastball the other way. The leadoff hitter is on base for the 3rd time in this game for Oakland. And into the stretch goes Nathan Carnes, who's up at 89 pitches right now.
Well, Nathan, he's been out of the stretch quite a bit in this ball game, but when he's needed to, he's made the big pitches. He's kept Oakland off the scoreboard, which is the bottom line. See if he can do it again.
And an opening curveball that's taken for a strike.
Gosh, I tell you, he's able to spin that pitch so tight. Looked like he started that pitch in off the plate to Butler, broke it right to the middle. That's a lot of top spin.
A little tapper, third base side. Forsythe will have to go to first. Ball not hit hard, and Reddick advances on the out, third to first.
Number 50, Max Muncy.
So a man in scoring position again for Oakland. The hitter is Max Muncy. Muncy has popped out and has been called out on strikes. One ball and no strikes to the count. One and one. Muncy last year in the minor leagues did not hit as many home runs as he did the year before, and not that it was exactly by design, but he did try to shorten his swing last year and increase contact and make himself overall a better hitter. So a little less power, but the A's think that he's got a chance to be a better hitter that way. This one gets by Rivera, and that will advance Reddick to third.
Well, that's a big advancement right there. You look at the outs, one out, and now a 3-1 count to Muncy. Reddick able to get over to third. You know, you always want to get a runner on third with less than 2 outs. And this pitch across the plate, Rene Rivera reaching off the end of the glove. We saw that with Stephen Vogt in the first game of this series, ball off the end of the glove, and that gives Oakland now the best opportunity of the day.
Yeah, a man at third with 1 out and a 3-1 count on Muncy. And there's ball away. And that would have been ball 4.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to do it again unless the pass ball was a strike. That pitch is up, and he's going to walk on this one. So Carnes gives up his first walk of the day.
Jim Hickey's going to come out, try to relax his start. You could read Carnes' lips there. He said, yeah, I'm good.
So a big conference on the mound with Hickey out there. A's have had men all over the bases. The only inning in which they went down in order was the 5th. Otherwise, they've had men on in the other 5 innings and in scoring position in 4 of those 5 innings. Here's Josh Phegley. Pitch is a strike. Curveball that is up a bit, but Phegley taking a breaking ball on the first delivery.
Well, Nathan Carnes coming down towards the end of his outing. This is where you empty the tank. Every pitch, maximum concentration, maximum effort.
And a cut and a miss. Curveball again, 0-2. Phegley has 1 of the 7 hits allowed. Cedeno continues to throw. He's been joined by Frieri. And a ball loose from the bullpen. A 2-strike count. Phegley is out on strikes, chasing that one. Well, 3 curveballs, and Phegley is out on strikes, the second out.
You realize the trust you have to have in your catcher to throw that pitch down and away and in the dirt with a runner on third, but it gets the desired result, and Rene Rivera keeps that ball right in front.
And that's going to be it for Nathan Carnes. Kevin Cash out to make the pitching change with the left-handed hitter due out. Carnes out after 5 2/3, in which he walked one man, and he did it the hard way. Let's take a look at Max Muncy's at bat. There's ball one, and there's strike one. It's 1-1. Here's ball two. Pass ball is ball three. There's ball four, and here is ball five. Take your base. So a walk used to be 4 walks or 4 balls to a walk. Now it's apparently 5.
It's not going to help the pace of play.
No. Xavier Cedeno in here to face Eric Sogard, and the first pitch to him is a strike. Muncy with that 5-ball walk is at first, and Reddick, who opened with a single, is now at third. So Cedeno inherits 2 base runners. And he gets ahead of Sogard 0-2.
Boy, how big was that strikeout? Carnes coming back to get Fegley.
Oh, big. Breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball.
Moving him right off of the plate. Had a runner hanging down there at third, less than 2, and punched him out. Xavier Cedeno looking to do the same.
Sogard started and checked. Rivera wanted a second opinion, and Rackley down at third says he held up, and he did. Ground ball headed up the middle. Base hit into center on a fastball. And Oakland gets the first run of the game, 1-0.
Now that was just a rare mistake by Cedeno. In that count, looking to expand the zone. That ball stayed middle, right out over the heart of the plate. And Sogard able to rifle it through the middle.
Reddick scores the first run, and here's Mark Canha. He's 1 for 2. Line to right his last time. The base hit by Sogard snapped an 0 for 17 for Oakland with runners in scoring position. Pitch drops low, 2-0. So 1 run charged to Carnes. He's responsible for Muncy, who's now at second. Two balls and a strike. Oakland with a run and 8 hits. It's now 3-1. Cedeno in last night's game for a third of an inning. Sam Fuld on deck. And ball 4. The bases are loaded.
It just was not going to give in there. 3-1. Going to try to make the perfect pitch down and away. He missed with that. The silver lining is now it's left on left, and you got Sam Fuld up there. Nowhere to put him. But Cedeno, who's been so good, well, he's been so good against righties and lefties, but needs to get Fold here.
Fold 0 for 2, a couple of ground balls, and he takes ball 1. Fold was 1 for 4 last night. 0 for 2 with a walk in the opening game of the series on Thursday. Cedeno misses with another curveball.
Yeah, yanked that one. That one just came out. It was pulled across the plate, well out of the zone. We've got to find it here. 2-0, nowhere to put him.
Strike call. Stayed with a breaking ball.
Not too excited to go back to that left-on-left fastball after Sogard was able to punch it up the middle.
And there is a base hit. 1 run is in. Sogard will score. Now mishandled, and another runner heads to the plate, and Rivera drops the ball. Fold winds up at third, and it clears the bases. And suddenly, on that hit, Oakland opens a 4-0 lead.
Boy, something that has plagued the Oakland A's, not the Rays, is the defense. Now, there was another breaking ball. That was the 4th in a row seen by Sam Fold. Base hit. The ball eludes Kevin Kiermaier here. He recovers to make a strong throw, and it looked like the Rays were going to get out of this inning here, but the ball just dropped by Rene Rivera.
So Fold singled on the curveball. Muncy and Sogard scores on the base hit, and a run batted in. And a couple errors on that play. The first of the year on Kiermaier, and the third of the year on Rivera. And there's Burns tapping it foul for a strike. So Oakland puts 4 up. And the Rays, who have been so sound defensively on that one play, charged with 2 errors.
And that's just how quickly, at this level, things can get away from you. Cedeno was up on Sogard. Was it 0-2? Had him down 2 strikes. 1 pitch away from getting out unscathed.
Yep.
And in a matter of minutes, Oakland with 4 on the board.
Swing and a miss by Burns. The throw down to first in time, but 8 men come to the plate, and Oakland comes up with 4 to lead 4-0. Suddenly it's a 4-run game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Next month, by the way, the FIFA Women's World Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. Women's National Team against the best teams in the world in search of their 3rd World Cup title. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1. That begins June 6th. One attempt by Kiermaier, bunted fouled for a strike. He taps this one right side. Sogard with a pickup throw to first, and it's just in time to get Kiermaier.
Boy, there's just no margin for error when Kiermaier hits a ground ball in the infield. There can be no hesitation. There can't be a misplay. If he hits it softly, you've got to charge that ball, attack it. You see how quickly he gets to top end speed. And we talk about it all the time, but that explosiveness out of the box, and made that play real close.
That's Steven Souza Jr. And he takes a strike. A couple of strikeouts looking for Souza Jr. today. Off the front of the Rays dugout, 0-2. Now Romero's up in the Rays bullpen. And a wide miss there by Graveman.
Well, I think what happened with Graveman is this outing now in the 6th inning. He threw that previous fastball upper 80s, and the swing by Souza Jr. was so late that he wanted to go back out there with another heater and really hump up on it, and he just yanked the crud out of it. That's where you make a good pitch and then you try to make a good pitch great the next time. It typically doesn't work out very well. You throw that good slider, now you're going to make it even nastier. That's the one that hangs.
And a check swing, foul ball on the breaking pitch. Count is still 1-2. Bit wide there. Fastball. It's 2-2. And he checks on the breaking pitch. Full count. It's inside for ball 4. So Souza heads to first. First walk given up by Graveman. And for the Rays, who have 2 hits and a hit batter, only their 4th runner in this game. Reminder, in the game today and all season long, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Ground ball toward the middle and past Semien. So a base hit for Longoria.
Well, you know, you're not going to call that an error, but that's a play that a big league shortstop has a great chance to make. And at that point, you got a good chance at a double play. His ball headed up the middle, but he gets there. Got to reach. Well, that's a break for the Rays. Not so much that right there, but coming off of the 0-2, what turned out to be a walk, a ground ball that Semien could have made a play on. Doesn't do that. You get something rolling here.
Well, they have James Loney, who has a 9-game hitting streak. Loney 0 for 2 couple of ground balls handled by the first baseman so far in this game. Too low, covered up by Flegley. Time through the lineup here for Graveman. See what the Rays can do with a walk and a single. And the pitch is down.
Graveman hasn't been the same since the 0-2 fastball to Souza Jr. that he threw to the backstop. The body language is different. 2 runners aboard now, a 2-0 count. The fact that the A's bullpen has been quiet up to this point, I think they may be moving around right now.
Yeah, Kurt Young, the pitching coach, heads to the mound. And you're right. So the bullpen start to maneuver. You can get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group of 50 to 85 in this private party area and leave long-lasting memories. To reserve the Papa John's bullpen box, contact Group Sales at 888-FAN-RAYS. Email Group Sales at RaysBaseball.com. Limited dates remain. It's the right-hander Evan Scribner. We saw him last night. First pitch back from Loney after that conference is a strike, and the count is 2-1. Souza at second, Longoria at first. Ground ball right side. Sogard will get the out at second, and no return throw to first. As Souza goes to third, Loney reaches on a fielder's choice.
Number 11, Logan Forsythe.
Graveman threw the ground ball. The force play at second, the only out, and that gives Logan Forsythe a shot in the 6th.
Well, doubled just an inning ago. Could use one of those right here.
He has a dozen 2-base hits. First pitch, fastball called a strike. Low and outside and blocked by Flegley. Rays trying to get on the board. They left 2 men on base in the 5th. First and third with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And there's strike 2, fastball.
You could see Logan Forsythe, until he got to 2 strikes, he wants the pitch that's elevated. Not going to tag too many of these right down the line like he did in his last at bat, but now he's got to protect and just try to put the ball in play.
A little tapper foul. Rays have taken the first 2 games of the series. Had a defensive lapse, a couple of them in the top half of this inning when Oakland scored 4. And the count will go to 2-2. Mariners beat the Blue Jays 3-2. And the Yankees lost to the Rangers today 15-4. And that's going to be strike 3. A curveball. He had Forsythe turning away from it and broke over for strike 3. Rays lead 2, trail 4-0. To you by Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. By Checkers. Get Checkers authentic Philly cheesesteak or try the new meatball sub. Pick yours 2 for $5. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. On to the 7th inning at Tropicana Field, where it's 4-0 Oakland. Eddie Romero on the hill now, opening the 7th inning, and his first pitch, fastball at 95, is wide. Simeon pops it down the right side. That will be out of the reach. Ball falling down near the bullpen, in front of the bullpen bench, but out of the reach of Souza Jr. Down to third, glove by Forsythe. Simeon is the first out. 5-3 on the play. Romero summoned from the Durham Bulls. Rays needing some additional innings available in that bullpen, and Romero fits the bill. He'll face Josh Reddick. Pitch is a strike. Firm. That fastball easily in the mid-90s and sometimes above.
Well, especially when you're coming out of the bullpen, you can really cut it loose. You got that adrenaline here in the big leagues. 98.
How about that one?
How about that one? That was just a dart. You can't even pick up spin. Just a blur.
Tapper. Romero's after it. He'll barehand it, and he bounces it in. Threw it right into the dirt and skipped it by Loney.
You'd almost be better off shoveling it. Eddie Romero, as he started his spin, this looked like it could get a little hairy. And James Loney, I'm thinking he's got a big, well, he didn't even have a hold of it. That was the problem. You watch that. When he grabs that ball, it's almost like he grabbed it with his middle fingers right there. See, never had a grip. Never had a grip. No chance. Yep. Tried to throw like a Vulcan split. Doesn't have command of that pitch yet.
There's Billy Butler. Pitch is a strike. If he were trying to throw that pitch and he didn't have command of it yet, had not perfected it, it would have been illogical if it was a Vulcan split, being that he never would have attempted to throw it.
True. That's
ground ball. Franklin, Cabrera, and over to Loney for the double play.
Thank you very much, Billy Butler. Got me off the hook.
4-6-3, 7th inning stretch time, 4-0. Nothing the score. We're headed into the bottom of the 7th inning. Rays to see what they can do against this 24-year-old right-hander. Kendall Graveman has been tough. Found himself in a little bit of a spot in the 6th, but he got Forsythe looking on a 2-2 curveball, leaving 2 men on. And here's David DeJesus to begin the bottom of the 7th, taking a pitch away. Well, they have the right side of the infield overloaded with the split, or with the shift, and Muncy alone on the left side.
Muncy guarding against the bunt, and the shift not as extreme as we've seen with the Rays. And you see Eric Sogard right here. That speaks more of David DeJesus and his speed. You know, if you got Sogard, whoa, there he went. If you've got him out in shallow right field, a ground ball to him, DeJesus got a chance to beat it out.
Now it's 3-0. Cabrera on deck. Jesus takes a strike. A strike. And ball 4. Rays put the leadoff man aboard. Well, a couple of walks off Graveman. Both have come in the last inning plus. Bob Melvin's going to head to the mound here with Asdrubal Cabrera due up. They're going to get a call to the bullpen here from the Oakland skipper. So 6 innings plus for Graveman. We'll be back in a moment. in the 7th inning.
Well, overall, just a different pitcher from what the league saw in his first stint in the big leagues, first 4 starts of the year. Went back, got things together in Nashville. Came up here, was very aggressive in the zone in his outing, pitched out of a couple of jams, and right now responsible for that runner, David DeJesus, down at first base, but 6 shutout innings so far.
Yeah, Graveman's 93 pitch performance, good enough for the high def highlight presented by H.H. Gregg there. And Evan Scribner takes over on the mound, facing Asdrubal Cabrera. And Cabrera looks at a strike.
We saw Scribner, I guess that was last night. Good curveball with good depth. He'll move the fastball around, occasional slurvy slider. There's that curveball. Yeah, I mean, he's able to spin it tight and get good depth, but the velocity at just 70. That thumb not really even on the baseball. 2 fingers coming over the top of it, just really ripping down. And that's where you're able to create that spin and that drop.
And Cabrera misses the fastball there and is out on the fastball away. 3rd strikeout of the day for Cabrera up there.
Well, he brought that pitch up above the swing of Cabrera, moving the ball right across the plate, getting that strikeout.
Here's Nick Franklin. Curveball down and in.
Those curveballs that you come out with first pitch, most of the time you got to be able to keep those in the zone, because the hitter's not going to be chasing after that curveball typically on a first pitch.
Jesus back in at first over there on the leadoff walk. Rays did touch Scribner for a home run last night. That was Steven Souza Jr.'s 7th home run of the year. That came on a fastball. It's a fastball located away and a strike. It's 1-1.
That was a bullet by Souza Jr. to
Yes,
left center field. I mean, that was looked like a double in the gap off the bat, but just would not come down.
Yeah, the point you made in the aftermath of that home run, for anybody else, it is a double, because at some point it would hit the wall out there, but Souza hit it so hard it had to stay up.
And that sound, that crack off the bat, you knew it. You're like, that ball has got a chance.
Here's that home run he hit off Scribner. And a full count, ball popping away, runner trying to advance, and DeJesus is out. DeJesus trying to advance as Fegley recovered and made the throw down to second base, and Kevin Cash not as convinced, at least initially, as Gabe Morales.
Well, yeah, he got him. He got him, slid right into the glove. Boy, oh boy.
Rays lose a big base runner there late. And a line drive right back at the pitcher. Scribner caught to retire Franklin and the Rays. We head into the 8th. It's 4-0 Oakland. all set to move into the 8th. Andy Perino is pinch hitting for Muncy, facing the hard-throwing left-hander Eddie Romero. A ball, no strikes. Muncy had gone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Game summary brought to you by the Golden Diamond Source. A 4-run 6th, the difference in this game.
Wait, a 4-run 6th coming with no runs on the board, 2 strikes and 2 outs. And Eric Sogard went back up the middle and then fell apart from there.
Fouled out of play. Perino was in the lineup last night. Went 0 for 2 against Chris Archer. So hard-throwing right-hander last night and a hard-throwing left-hander in relief today. And that is ball 3, a slider. Eddie Romero is out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Fouled back. And a cut and a miss. That one about 94.
Well, it's nice to be able to just rear back and overpower somebody with straight heat. And that's what Eddie Romero does right here. Just, there's a fastball. I'm going to put it down the middle, just above the belt. What are you going to be able to do about it? I'll tell you what, this Rays organization just continues to run pitchers up the ladder, and they come up, and we've seen Eddie before, but it's been a while.
2-0. Yeah, it really is amazing when you think what the Rays have had to cover just to start this year with pitching and what they've been able to do. And this time Fegley out in front and over that pitch. It's 2-1. Romero spent pretty much all of last year at Double-A Montgomery. Had an outing in Durham and then one with the Rays. There's a foul ball back, a fastball. And he had gone home after the end of the Durham postseason and then came in and made what turned out to be something of an emergency appearance for the Rays. Fly ball to right, and Souza is there. So 2 outs with the bases empty. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Well, we'll take a look at the recent success of Erasmo Ramirez. He'll be starting tomorrow. And Oakland's ace, Sonny Gray. Gray 4-2 with a 192 earned run average pitching tomorrow. There's a ball to Sogard. Rays have taken the first 2 games down in this one, and they'll face Gray tomorrow. Two and 0. Three and nothing. That's a strike. 3-1. And a 2-out walk to Sogard. Well, that's really been the issue with Romero, as we've seen here, a big arm, control, the walk total, command issues. not only can that fastball be impressive, but he's got a slider. If he develops the necessary command of that pitch, you can imagine the two together.
And that's the key. The key is to work on the command and get it to the point where you can throw the ball where you want to. The arm is there, the stuff is there, and you're right. You think about 95 to 96, 97 on the heater, a hard slider. Possibilities are endless.
Canha fouls away a pitch.
Oh, on top of that, you're a lefty.
Yes.
You're a lefty with that kind of stuff.
And he's tall and lanky enough that he can just hand you the pitch. And in that small interim between the time it leaves his fingertips,
swing out.
Yeah, see what you can do with it.
Right.
One and one. Hitting really is the most difficult thing in the world.
It's not easy. It is not easy. You know, these guys have to stay upbeat in the moment, ready to go, and the best of them are going to fail 70% of the time. I mean, that's you got to be able to deal with it. You never accept it, but you have to deal with it. Yeah,
you're failing 70% of the time to be among the elite. Deal with that. There's a certain mentality that's required.
Listen, I had a higher, well, stick to baseball.
For the first, Sogard back in. High there. 3-1. Sam Fuld on deck. Fuld got credit for 2 runs batted in the 6th inning, despite all the errors going on. Way wide, so a pair of 2-out walks. Jim Hickey's going to head to the mound, and Sam Fuld heads toward the plate. Thursday, June 18th, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time as the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names in the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, Romero trying to find the groove again. He worked the 7th, got the first 2 men out in the 8th inning. But now is walk Sogard and Canha, and here's Sam Fuld. Pitch inside to him.
But not able to make the adjustment on the release point. A lot of these balls are running arm side away. Just got to reach a little bit further. You'd like to see that fastball down and away here from Fuld, where he's really got to reach.
And there goes a man stealing third. He'll walk in. Sogard advances to third, picking up a stolen base, his 2nd of the year. That's just taking advantage of a pitcher who's trying to focus and find that release point again.
Yeah, because it was there. I mean, he was dominant running right through this Oakland lineup, but finding it elusive here.
That's a strike. And that really has been the issue for him throughout his young career, which started in the Rays system in 2008. Three and one. Fernando Rodriguez up in the bullpen for Oakland. And Fold walks. So 3 consecutive walks with 2 outs and the bases are loaded. And Billy Burns, well, Burns presents a limited strike zone the same way Fold did. And Cabrera spending some time with Romero.
Well, and he's going to have to find it because he's got no help coming out of that bullpen. Crickets down there.
Burns takes the ball.
I mean, there are no more visits by Jim Hickey. There's nobody warming up. Most lonely place on the field right now is on that mound.
Well, the Rays have utilized that bullpen so much, and Romero got the call from the minor leagues because they wanted to make sure they could cover some innings if they needed it today. And he just can't find the zone right now. He's on the verge of walking in a run after getting the first 2 outs of the inning. He's walked the bases loaded and is behind Burns 2-0. Rays bullpen innings topping the major leagues. That's a strike. 2-1. Way wide again. 3 balls and a strike. And there's ball 4. So Romero has walked in a run after 2 men were out. 4 consecutive walks. Sogard crosses the plate. And Marcus Semien prepares to hit.
And right now the mechanics have come completely unglued. You talk about a repeatable delivery. There's not one pitch to the next that's the same. And he's just not able to keep the pitches on the plate. Got the corner there. And you can even see as he lands and spins, the body starts to spin away from the arm.
Cut the miss.
There you go.
Quickly ahead of Semien.
I mean, what a difference strike 1 makes.
Whoa, way up and away, and quite a catch there. Reception by Rivera.
Well, and you know, that's where he's pulling off. You know, he's going to land, and that top half is really just pulling out of there and leaving his arm. Just really spin out like a hitter leaking up the baseline.
Fly ball the other way. Souza back to catch it. That retires the side. 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-0. Manny Romero there in the Rays dugout after getting through the 8th, giving up 1 run. Wrap-up game of the series tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 12:30 on Sun Sports, and Erasmo Ramirez, last 7 games, 2-0 with a 237 will get the start, opposing Sonny Gray. Andy Perino stays on to play third. The Rays facing the right-hander Evan Scribner, and the first pitch fastball to Rene Rivera is in there for a strike. High fly ball driven deep into center. It's Burns going back, and just as he approached the track, makes the catch. Yeah, Romero in the top half of this inning got the first 2 outs and then lost sight of the plate. All of the Oakland runs have scored with 2 outs, all 5 today. And you have to be impressed with Romero's arm, but as we had mentioned, command and control has been an issue after spending the full season last year at Durham. He was 5-11 there, but you can see the potential, but harnessing all that's the issue.
It's really amazing how
the base hit for Kiermaier.
How much between hitting and pitching, the mechanics are so similar. You know what I mean? As you're driving towards home plate as a pitcher, staying closed, and landing closed, and then firing those hips, and the arm comes through. Same thing with hitting. And what Andy Romero was doing was akin to leaking as a hitter. All of a sudden, he's landing, and that front side is starting to spin. Not in. You want to be kind of top to bottom. He was more side to side, and when that front side opens up early, that arm starts to lag behind and leak, and everything just shoots off the arm side. You can never keep it on the plate, and that's what he was really struggling with. And it looks like he's going to head back out there when the Rays take the field, unless they're able to come up with a nice rally here and get close or tie this ball game. So we'll see if he can make the adjustment.
Steven Souza Jr. takes a strike. It's 1-1. Well, the Rays put a couple of men on in the 5th, left them there. They left 2 men on in the 6th inning. Not many opportunities. There's a shot to left field. Bold will go back, and that ball will be caught. Bold makes the grab, slams into the wall, and on his way back to first base, Kiermaier. Boy, that's quite a catch. Reminiscent of some of the grabs Sam made in a Rays uniform. That ball hit hard, and as we mentioned earlier, citing the home run yesterday, when Souza hits it, the ball stays up.
Yeah, that's a rocket shot, and you thought that it was going to get over the head of Sam Fuld, but he's a good outfielder, and he's going to give you everything he has, and he's able to extend and make a heck of a catch here. Boy, right at the tip of that glove, needed all of that outfielder, Smith, to make that play.
Here's Evan Longoria. Pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Tyler Clippard up in the bullpen for Oakland. 1-1. Here's the Oakland closer. Evans sends a fly ball into shallow right. Sogard out near the line to make the catch, and the Rays are finished in the 8th. On to the 9th. It's 5-0 Oakland.
don't forget, coming up after the game, it'll be our Rays Live post-game show presented by Checkers. I'll be hosting alongside Orestes Estrada. We'll have Rich Hollenberg gathering interviews in the Rays clubhouse, hopefully talking about a big comeback. Also, guys, we will follow the progress of one Blake Snell. An incredible story going on in the minor league level. Snell now pitching for the Montgomery Biscuits. Pitches tonight with a 46-inning scoreless streak at the start of the season. The all-time minor league record, guys, is 49. A shot at history tonight. Back to you.
All right, we'll keep a close eye on what's going on in the Rays minor league system. First pitch in the 9th inning is a high fastball to Josh Reddick. It also drew a large thunderclap.
Oh, boy, substation.
Yep. Ball 2, now 2-1 to count on Reddick. Well, I hope that it's well insulated and grounded now. And Romero behind Reddick, 3-1. Romero made 25 starts last year at Durham. It was 5-11. Hot shot foul. Runs the count full. Had 117 strikeouts in 126 innings and walked 52. Command at times getting him into trouble, as we could see in the 8th, and the big arm sometimes getting it out of it. We mentioned he had made that one start for the Rays in 2013. High popper, and out there from shorts, Cabrera in center field making the catch. Now Billy Butler. And the pitch is a strike. Romero had a little shoulder issue this year. Spent some time at Charlotte at the A level and then to Durham. Well, the Rays have now used 41 players and 14 rookies. And this is the 6th left-handed reliever the Rays have used.
It would be a story if it was for the season. You're not out of May yet.
Yep.
And they sit atop the standings in the AL East.
Yep. Starting the day, a game and a half. Right now, 2. The Yankees have lost, so the Rays will be either 1.5 or 2.5. They're going to have to come up with a big rally if it's going to be 2.5. Butler out on strikes. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th inning. And that's going to get Andy Perino, who's now playing third, to the plate. Enter now for a chance to win a trip to the MLB All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your close friends. Upload 2 photos. Send them to foxsports.com. Fantastic Call All-Star now through June 3rd. One and one, the count to Perino. And if that last promo didn't make any sense to you, it made less to us. And we've just destroyed it. I have no idea what that was about. Somebody just got to do a better job writing them and checking them. 3-1 the count with the bases empty and 2 outs. That's a strike on the outside corner.
You're feisty.
There were words in that I didn't even mention that I have no idea what they meant. Didn't make any sense putting them together.
You destroyed that poor promo.
There's walk number 5 by Romero.
It is Saturday night. Isn't there a song about fighting on Saturday night? Saturday night's all right for. Yeah,
that's it.
I hope you don't run into said writer of promo on the way out of here. It would be a throwdown.
I'm going to take the back roads home, get there quietly.
I'm sweating profusely.
Pitch is outside, 1-0. Rays have been out hit 10-4 and trail 5-0. One ball, 1 strike.
It's been that kind of a day all around.
Maybe that's the turnaround point we need here.
Enough is enough. You know what I mean?
Yep, the Rays have 1 shot left.
You take it for a while. You take it, you roll with it, you roll with it. No adjustments made, and then that's it. That's it. The line has been drawn in the sand, and now it's go time for us and the Rays.
So they need to get the final out here and see what Loney, Forsythe, and DeJesus can do about starting something. Well, there's the final out. Begley strikes out, and we're headed into the bottom of the 9th. The Rays are down 5-0. They're down 5-0. Couple of unearned runs in the 6th. Actually, it's going to turn out that 3 of those runs were earned by the change in the scoring. And then the bases loaded walk in the 8th, accounting for the other run. Tyler Clippard, the closer, on for the 17th time now for Oakland.
You can see 4 out of 5 in saves. This team does not have many saves. They don't have many wins. Got an opportunity to get one here. 15 strikeouts in 18 innings. And the Rays have their work cut out for them.
Loney 0 for 3, came in with a 9-game hitting streak. And the first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. fouled back. Now 1-1. Off the facing of the upper deck. Oakland coming in and lost 4 in a row and 8 out of 9 to go 14-30. The Rays have not scored today against this Oakland pitching staff. 1-2. That off-speed pitch had Loney out in front. Oakland got a nice start from Kendall Graveman, the 24-year-old right-hander out of Mississippi State today.
No, they really did. We talked about the spring that he had. The start to the season did not go well through 4 starts. Went back to the minor leagues, got things back in order, kind of a deep breath. Came back up here a little bit more polished and gets the start this afternoon and pitched into the 7th inning. Shutout baseball.
High fly ball, shallow right. Reddick is coming in for it. That's the first out. Clippard, an all-star the last couple years over in the National League. 75 games last year. Logan Forsythe. Hot shot foul and a souvenir down there. A grab in the front row. Nice catch on that line drive.
Yes, it was.
There's 2 guys sitting just to his left, happy that he had that glove.
Yeah. That was whistling down there.
One ball, 1 strike. Clippard out of Mitchell High School in Newport Richey. That's a strike. Pitch just a little off the plate. Forsythe tried to check, but he went around, and Joe West on the appeal was convinced beyond doubt. Two and two. One out, base is empty. Bottom of the 9th. And that's a strike taken over the outside corner. Let's check in with Todd one more time. Todd?
When you mentioned a local product, Tyler Clippard, really cool thing he did. This entire 162 landing he bought out today. On this Memorial Day weekend, he bought it out for the homebound heroes, military personnel who have returned home. So all these people gave a loud ovation, as you can imagine, when the local product stepped to the mound.
A great gesture by Tyler Clippard. And Todd right on top of that story.
Much like the fan down just off third base, making that catch. Todd with that report right there.
Yep.
Never stopping. 2 outs in the 9th.
Yep.
You're down.
Always looking for something.
Always working.
Want to know the count to David DeJesus. Liner into right field. Reddick will play it on one hop, and the Rays keep it going. DeJesus on base for the 4th time, his 2nd hit. He'd also been hit by a pitch and it walked. So he continues his hot hitting.
Well, his last 16 games, it was a 400 average. And that's just going to continue to climb. The on base continues to climb. He's hit safely 14 of the last 17. He's had now 8 multi-hit games in that span. He just continues to be very consistent and very productive.
There's Cabrera taking one the other way, and a base hit on the first pitch. So with 2 outs, the Rays have a couple base runners all of a sudden. Back-to-back singles by DeJesus and Cabrera.
Elevated makes it easy. Nice smooth swing there by Cabrera, and just stay back and shoot that ball to left. Textbook.
Visit to the mound by Fegley. Nick Franklin will be the hitter. Franklin takes a pitch too low. Well, just in case the Rays can keep it going, Joey Butler has moved out on deck. Rivera's spot is due, and Butler limbers up. Two balls, no strikes. Rays putting up a bit of a fight here with 2 outs. And now ball 3. 3-0. And there is ball 4. The bases are loaded. 2 gone, 2 singles and a walk. The Rays will get Joey Butler to come off the bench to hit for Rene Rivera.
Making this Oakland A team sweat, and that's what your goal is. You know, you're down 5 runs going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Wasn't looking too promising with 2 quick outs, but here you are. You got the tying run in the on-deck circle and some power at the plate. And you know that Joey's going to turn it loose here.
Yeah, Butler was 1 for 3 in the game last night. And he tries to check on the off-speed pitch. Strike 1.
Yeah, smart. He recognized it a little bit late, but that's why it was going to be a strike regardless. He wants something a little harder.
Off the end of the bat, off speed again.
Yep, and that's smart pitching. You know, you got a guy up there that you know is geared for the heater. And Clifford able to go with 2 off-speed pitches, the changeup, traditional circle change, and now up in the count 0-2. Now that fastball at 90 is going to look about 95, and he could also come right back with another off-speed pitch.
And a swing and a miss, back with the fastball. 2 changeups and the fastball to end it. So the Oakland Athletics shut out the Rays 5-0 for the Rays. This lost their 20th of the year. They are 24-20 and remain a game and a half ahead of the New York Yankees in first place in the American League East. Raven will get the win, Carnes the loss before 15,207. Took 2 hours and 55 minutes to play this one. 5-0 Oakland over the Rays. Wrap-up game of the series tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. We'll be with you on Sun Sports. For Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, postgame is next.